Hi guys, welcome to Becodewala. I welcome you to the our Pinster blog website that we are going to build using MERN Stack. And in the last tutorial, I have shown you the demo of our project that we are going to build, and this project will be the major project that you can add in your resume. So, if you have not watched the demo part of this project, you can go and watch here on YouTube. So here you can see that I've explained in the very detail what are the project that we are going to build with the multiple features that we are going to add, right? So that we are going to start the coding part of this project, and we'll start from the backend. So if you are new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe us. So let's go for our VS Code to write the code. So here I've created in my YouTube folder, I've created two folder like backend and this is front end, right? So both are empty. So we will start with the backend. We have to drag and drop and keep it in this VS Code. So we have to create our package.json where we can add all our packages that we are going to use in our application. So how to create package.json? So write npm init hyphen y. So it will create a package.json in your backend folder, and you can see that it has been created. And by default, here you can see that it take the name of your folder, then version, and the description is empty main file. So we are going to write like server.js. So you can write server.js and script to run test build, right, your project. So you can write the script here, and then keyword author, and there is no package, and you can see that the type here it is common.js, but we are going to use type module, right? So I have already like configured my package.json. So I will just copy and paste, and I'll explain you everything what are the things I have added in my package.json. So here you can see that I have named the package.json is mon block backend. So this is our backend, and that's why we have to write the name. Then you can write the version. So we are creating the version 1, and the type module so that we can use import and export functionality that we have studied in the javascript at ES6 modules. And we are going to create our server.js file, which will be the main file where we can start our express server. And here the script, so this script is to like run our server, and that we are going to use node mon. So whenever you do changes, it will automatically update in our backend. But when you start with this node server.js, so it will not show your update changes. You have to close the server, you have to restart again. So better to use node mon, so it automatically update your changes. And what are the dependency we are going to use in our project? So here we are going to use bcrypt.js, right? So bcrypt.js is a library to hash and compare password. So it is a alternative to bcrypt. So whenever you user will create your account, the password should be hash, and in the hash form it should be saved to the database so that it should maintain the security. And when user will log in, it will verify the user enter password that is registered in our database, right? That all the things we are going to do with the bcrypt.js. Then cloudinary. So cloudinary is a cloud-based image and video storage service. So whenever you can see that while creating our profile, right? So this images, and this images you can see this here we are going to upload. So we are going to upload these images on our cloudinary. So it is used for the media uploads, right? So now here we are going to use cookie parser. So cookie parser is a middleware to parse the cookies attached to the client request. So whenever client is requesting something from the front end, so we have to pass that cookie, right? So that's why we are going to use cookie parser. And we have a course. So course is also a middleware, and it enable cross origin resource sharing. So like our backend is deployed on some other like URL, right, and our front end is deployed on some other URL. So course protect our that API, the backend data, to which URL, the which front end URL can access our backend data. So with the course we can configure which domain can configure our like get our data from our backend. So it will protect our backend data. And .env, so .env loads the environment variable from our .env file into process.env, right? That's we are going to use .env. So we are going to create a .env file where we'll add all the secrets that like cloudinary secret keys and Google authentication keys, JWT secret. So that we are going to write in a .env file so that it should be protected, right? And here we are going to express. So this is a like web framework for building REST APIs, right? So here we are going to use another express session. So a middleware to manage user session, right? Storing data between request. So that's why we are going to use express session. Then JSON web token. So library to generate and verify JWT token. So whenever user login, it will create a JWT token, right? So let me show you. So let me check the JWT token has been created or not. So you can see that the token has been created. See, so if you I'll remove this token and I'll refresh it, I'll remove the, see, a user automatically log out. It is showing now login button, right? So that's the power of JWT token. So whenever we go on other pages with the token, we can verify and we can see that user is authenticated or not. Then we are going to use mongoose. So mongoose is a object data modeling library uh, that is from MongoDB, and its library to interact with the MongoDB using model and schema, right? And then we are going to use multer. So multer is a middleware to handle multi-part form data, right? Like whatever you post images, like input fields that we select category while creating our post, right? So we can use multer at that time, and it is very helpful. And then node cache, so this is extra thing that I have added. So we are going to create in memory caching solution for the data storage. So whenever you load, right? So we don't want to, like whenever user refresh, we don't want to call the API every time. When the user refresh, right, it will go and call the API, right, again and again to fetch all this data. So we have used node cache so that it will like fetch the data for first time from the API, and when you do second time, it will like when you do first time, so it will fetch the data from the backend. But and that at that time it will store this data in our in memory cache, right? So it will cache the data, and after that when you go and refresh for the second time, it will fetch this data from the cache, right? So all this card, it will come from the cache. So we are going to use node cache. So node cache is very important, and where to apply the node cache while creating post or deleting post, or so it is very mandatory, right? It is very mandatory to know how and where to apply this node cache. Otherwise it will not show the updated data on your front end, so it may cause problems. So you should must know where and how to use node cache. So then we are going to use node mailer. So it is a library to send email. So we are going to use like password reset, right, and verification. So when user create an account for the first time, we send the code for the verification of the email, right? So who is sending that code on our email? So we are going to use node mailer, and here we have a forgot password button also, right? When you go and log in, so it will show forgot password. You can enter your email and it will show send the like code on your email, right? So whatever the things we have to send on our email, we can use node mailer. Then we are going to use passport. So it is a authentication middleware for Node.js. So with this we are going to apply our Google authentication with this. So passport Google or 2.0, it is a strategy, right, for authenticating with the Google using Auth 2.0 and passport. So this is the strategy we are going to use for the authenticating. So you can go and search for like Google Auth 2.0. So Here you can see the official passport.js documentation. This is the strategy that we are going to use, right? We have to install, see, it is the process that is showing how we have to use this strategy with the client id and the client secret, how to get all these things. So I am going to explain you each and everything in the details, right? So let's go and see the what are the def dependency. So this is the def dependency, so no need, this is no need to write in dependency because we are going to use node mon for just running our backend. No need our project doesn't, or if we remove this also it does not matter, right? So this is, that's why we are adding in a like node mon, so no need as a dependency, we can add as a def dependency. So this is for running our backend, right? And it track all the changes and automatically update it and rerun the our server, right? So that's why we are going to use nodemon. And you can see that we have added this manually, all this package, right? All this package version I just copy and paste, right? So I'm going to install all these packages. You can see that no node modules is present, right? So we have to install all these packages, so it will install all the things, right, in our backend. So I have just copy and paste, right? So we have to install all this cloudinary cookie parser and everything. So it will create a node modules for us. You can see that mongodb types, animate and everything. See, it is installing. So let's wait for that. And it can, you can see that our everything that has been installed in our backend. Now we have to go through the other folders. So how we are going to create? So first of all we have to create like models. So before models we can create config also, but let's create a config first. So we will finish all the config. So let me create our config file, right? So let me close this. So first we will configure our project. So like in this we are going to configure our cloudinary, like mongodb database, node mailer and passport.js. So all the secret file that we need to add, so we have to configure everything. So cloudinary.js, and then we can create db.js for the mongodb data connection. We have to configure then node mailer, right? So we can create mail.js, right? And passport.js. So we have created all this file. So we will start with the cloudinary. So how to configure cloudinary? So we will import. So we are going to import export s6 module, more type module we have defined in our package.json, right? So that we are going to use. So import v2 as cloudinary, right, from the cloudinary, and import .env. So .env to access our like our secret key from our .env file. So we have to create our .env file, and then after importing .env you have to configure, so that it can access all the env secret that we are going to use in our cloudinary. So how we are going to config? So cloudinary dot config, and so search cloudinary on like browser and you will find this official website of cloudinary. So click on cloudinary, and when you search cloudinary npm you can see the how we have to install, right, and how we have to configure. So we are using v2, right? So let me show you. So we are using v2 as a cloudinary, right? So we are going to use v2, and how to configure cloudinary.configure, and then we have to write our cloud name. So cloud name, then we have to write api key and api secret. So and after that we have to export, so that we can use this cloudinary whenever needs in any rest api that we are going to create using express. there suppose I want to upload the profile image, right, and the post image, right. So that time you can use this cloudinary configuration. So once you created, you can use everywhere we want. So how to get this cloud name, API key and API secret? So here we have to search cloudinary, right, and after that click on official website and you will be redirected to this page, right. So after that we have to log in or sign up. So if you are have not account, so you can sign up, right, and I'm going to log in with the Google. So after login you will redirect to the console.cloudinary.com. so here you will get your whatever the credential that we need. So go to setting, go to API keys, right. So setting, here you can see that the setting icon below, right, in the left side, and here on the setting you can see the API key, and here where is our, see the key name that we have created, right. So this is the API key, so you can create multiple like new API keys, right. So when you create new API key, like suppose I created this, right, and when this that we have created, right. So here API key, you can see that this is the API key that we are going to use, and this is the API secret, right. We got the API secret and API key. So here you can go and copy the API key and API secret. But where is cloud name? So cloud name is this. This is the cloud name, right. So this is the cloud name, right. So this is the cloud name that we are going to use in our cloudinary. So dvw6, so this is the cloud name that we are going to use in our project, right. So you have got the API key, keep API secret and the cloud name, right. So after that we can now go for configuration of MongoDB. So how to configure MongoDB database? So we are going to use mongoose, right. So mongoose, so mongoose from mongoose, then import .env and .env.config, and after that we have to connect to the MongoDB. So const connect MongoDB, and we are going to create async. So we async await. So there we can handle the try catch, right, and in the try catch, suppose if any error comes, so we can show the error, console error, and exit, right. And if no error, so how we are going to connect? So await mongoose.connect, and we have to pass this the MongoDB URI, right, mongoose.connect, and we have to pass that URI. So how to get MongoDB URI, I'll show you now. And no need of this unified technology and all. If you want, you can remove it or you can keep it, there is no issue, right. So it's depend on you, right. So there will be no issue with this. So after that we have to, this MongoDB has connected, right, with the Mongo URI, and suppose I want to console host, so you can console the host. So this is the where I have stored a MongoDB URI connection and their host name. So you can, when you run our MongoDB like the backend, so that time it will show the MongoDB host name and export default. So we can export this so that we can use whenever we need in our APIs, right. So how to get MongoDB URI? Create a separate tutorial for this, and if you have don't know how to get the MongoDB URI, so in my first MongoDB, so first MERN Stack project where it is, so we have created the to-do list, right. So in the first to-do list I have shown you how to create the MongoDB URI, but I will create a separate tutorial on this. So you can go to MongoDB, see it is signing with my email, and here also we are using v2, right. You can see the URL, right, and how to create new. So here you will see all the list that you have created. Suppose I have to create a new project, you can create a new project, right? So you can create the new project, right? And you can configure. So if you want the separate video, comment it out. And if you or otherwise you can go and see the first this to-do list application that we have created, right? So there I have explained how to get the MongoDB URI, right? So here in the creating database server using MongoDB, so in this section I will explain everything how to create. See, in this I've created and connected MongoDB and I have get the string, right? So in this third chapter you can see that in the in below also you can see the chapters wise I have created, right? Creating server and database using MongoDB. So the 21 minutes, right? So at this time span you can go and check it out. So how to get the MongoDB URI, right? And let's go and create configuration for the node mailer. So to node mailer we have to import node mailer from node mailer, and after that we have to const transport. So we have to use transport, not transporter, right? So how to why I am configuring like this, how I came to know. So you can search node mailer npm, right? And you'll get the this link how to install. And let me see how we have to import the node mailer. See, in the official website in the first page it is shown, right? Node mailer, we have to import the node mailer. Here it is using like common JS const node mailer require node mailer, but we are using like module type, so it's depend on you. And how to create the transport. So how we are going to send the code, right? And any link and other things on the email. So node mailer dot create transport, then we have to configure the host. So we are going to use Gmail, right? And here the define the port number, right? Secure also to depend on you. And here auth user and password, right? So here I'm going to configure all this thing. So what are the services I'm going to use? So service equal to like process. So all this service, right, we are going to write in our .env. So e email service, so process.env email service. And then here I am defining the auth, right? Here user and the password, right? And export default transporter, right? So how to get this email service, right? So this email service is our Gmail that we are going to write in our .env file, right? So that Gmail we are going to use, right? And the email user we are going to, let me create and show you. So let me close all these things. So backend, and in backend we have to create .env, and we have to create .ignore so that we can ignore all this file. So this .ignore need for the production when we are pushing our code on the GitHub. If you want, you can go and check how to deploy code on the GitHub. So here see the how to deploy MERN Stack application on the Vercel, right? This is the tutorial and I will explain everything in the detail. So what file to create, what not. So you can go and create, and here we have to like paste our MongoDB URI, right? So here you can create so these are the secret that we are going to use in our .env, like MongoDB URI that you will get from the MongoDB. So you can check out the tutorial, right? In the first to-do list application, the first part I have shown you how to get the, in this I have created the chapter how to get the MongoDB URI. And JWT secret depend on you, how what are the secret that you are going to use. Like I have used this secret, and that we are going to use in our user model, and the port at what you want to run your like backend, and cloudinary name and API key and secret that I've explained you right here while building, and Google client ID and Google client secret that how to get. So let me show you. So go to Google console. So search Google console, right? So when you search Google console, go to the first URL console.cloud.google.com, and there suppose you have to create new project, right? So this is my first project, so create a new project if you want. So when you create, or after suppose I have created all this project, and after setup all these things, so no worries, I'll create a separate tutorial for all these things, how to get the cloudinary API key, how to get the Google console API secrets, and the MongoDB and node mailer, everything I will explain you. So I'll create a separate tutorial on this, so no worries, and so that it will be helpful for upcoming projects, so that I have to not explain again and again. So here you can, after creating your like, this is my project that I have created, and how to create new project, you can click on this and create a new project, and to get the API key you can click API and services, and after that you can see credential, so you can click on credential and all. So let me wait for the load of the console credential. So here you can see that the client ID, right? This is the client ID, right, that we got, right? And suppose like we have to create one more create credential. So new policy of the user, right? So only one time you can create it, like this is, wait, let me show you. So this is the client ID, but client secret we have to the copy and paste and keep it in our .env, right here. Once you close this, you will not get the like client ID, sorry, client secret. So client ID will be visible, but client secret will not visible like again and again. So click on create credential auth, and click the like web application, and whatever the URI, like when we will create our Google Auth, we have to add, the location, URI location, and then you have to see the this is the client secret. So here you can see this, starting in June 2025 will no longer able to view or download the client secret once you close this dialog. So when you close this, you will not able to access the secret, only you can access the client ID. So make sure you can keep it secret, or you can download this JSON file, right? So do not use mine one. So I will delete this web client 3. Let me delete this. So you can create your own. So I'll create a separate tutorial on this, so no worries. And after that, there is the email, that with what email you are going to send the, like suppose someone is logging to your website, so we need a email to send uh, like code, right? So you can use your email to send the code to other user email who is signing in, right? So you can use your email. And how to get this password, this is not the actual email password that you log in, this is the separate password that we are going to use. So suppose, let me open your Gmail. So suppose I open my Gmail, and you can go here, and after that you can click on manage your Google account, and after that you can see search here app. So when is search app, it will show app password. So from here we have to get the app password, right? And we have to like log in to get the app password, right, with your actual password, right, of the Google account. And here you can create a new password for different versions. See, I have created many password. So I can create, click on this, like app name, whatever app name you want to, and click on create, it will show you the password. So that password we have to use, and do not use any space and all things, right? Just write all the string that you got the password, right? And client URL, here is our front end that we are going to use. Here our front end is working like localhost, and when you deploy on the like the server, there we have to use the domain, and here just session secret, where you can write your second session secret. And this is the Google Auth redirect URI. So whenever you try to log in with the Google, it will redirect to this URI. So this is the localhost, but on the production we are going to use replace this localhost with the production URL, right? So these are the things we have to use. So we have like configure our mail.js, right? And how to get the user, right, password and services, right? So we have got this email user password, right, and email service is Gmail. And after that we have to configure the passport. So passport for the Google authentication, right? So this thing we have to take care of. So this configuration should be little long, so let me write the Google configuration. So .env, from .env password passport. So here we are going to use user model to like log in with our like Gmail, right? So Google account. So to log in with your Google account, we need to like user model and all. So let me import the passport first. So passport, and we need like Google strategy from the Google Auth 2.0, right? Let me remove all these things. So import.env passport, and import strategy as a Google strategy. So we can write any name like strategy as a Google strategy, Google Auth strategy. So no need to like worry. And here after importing as a Google strategy from the, this is the strategy that we are going to use, passport Google Auth 2.0. So go on the like package. So when you go on home, you can see the strategy. So you can search the strategy like Google Auth passport. Let me search to, so let me search the full name first. Google passport, passport.google. So here you can see that here it is, see, passport Google Auth 2.0, right? So this is the strategy that we are going to use, right? So these are the strategy to log in with our Google account. So this is the strategy we are going to use, and this is the .env to get the env secret from our .env file, and this is the model that we are going to use. So remove this all these things. So I want only this much, and .env to configure. But here we are using model, right? Model, but we have not created our model. So let's create our model, then we can configure our this passport.js. So otherwise you can create as of now also, but I'm going to create the model first. So I'll create the model first, and then we will create our configuration for the passport.js, right? So models. So in models we have to create user model.js. So this is for the user, and suppose I have a user create to post. So post has should also have a model, right? So I'll create post.js, right? So here we can create two models, user and post. So what are the things that user should have? So first of all, I will import mongoose from mongoose, and import like bcrypt from bcrypt.js. and after that we have to create the schema, right? So how we are going to create the schema? Const user schema and new mongoose.schema. So this is the way to create a schema using mongoose. So after that what are the things should user in the schema should have? So I want the name, but here it is showing some issue because we have to create a object, right? So let me so we have to create a object, right? Document object. So mongoose is a data model object, right? ODM, object data model. And after that we have to write the name, and name should have type of string, required true and trim true. So these are the things. So in if a space it will trim it, and this field should be required, so we have required true and type is string, right? Then we can write the similarly for the email, right? So for the email also you can write, let me write the comma here, and the email type of string, required string and unique too. So email should be unique. So unique should email should be unique, and we can use the email this for the searching for the database user. So email should be unique, right? And after that unique to we can lowercase team. So email should save as a lowercase. So these are the things that we can configure more. It depends on you how we are going to create. So required true for password, we need password type of string password, and required true and length minimum length 6. You can define the how much length should be the password, right? Then avatar. So user should have a profile, right? So we can create a avatar for the user. So type of string, and after that we can write the default. So what are the default? So whenever user login for the first time, I want to don't want to show the empty profile icon, so I can use this image. So this is the image. See, this is the image I want to show to the user when user will login for the first time. See, this is the image that we have used here, right? So see, this is the image that we use for this user, right? You can see that. So when the user had to log in for the first time, we can show user with the this default avatar, right? And user have a bio, right? So we can create a bio type string, and default bio should be empty, right? Otherwise you can write a bio. See, this is the bio, user profile as name bio, right? And after that user should have a follower. So these followers, you can see that following followers. So this user is following this user, right? So this how we are going to track, right? This user is following. So this when you ever you sign up, a MongoDB object ID will be created, right? So we are going to get the followers from the MongoDB user ID. So followers, and here we can create the followers, right? And this should be object, right? And it can be multiple user that can follow. So mongoose.schema.types.object id. So let me show you. So mongo compass. So here we can visualize our MongoDB database, and you can perform operation on the interfaces, right? So this is very helpful, MongoDB compass, right? So I'll show you what object I am talking about. So suppose this is our major project, and I've created multiple project. So now this one, so let me connect. So here is the blog one. So user, so go to the user model. So there whenever user is login, this is the object id created by the mongoose, right? So this mongoose has this object id, right? So this id should be there, right? And this, suppose let me go and check. So here this, suppose it is following two user, this user is following two user. So this user and this user, so this is the id of that user who this user is following, right? So after that we have to reference the user model, right? So this is the user model we are creating, right? So when we create our model we are going to use this reference, right? It will refer to that user model to get the followers, right? Object id, and followings also similarly the same schema types object id and ref user. And after that, so we are checking for user is verified or not. So right, when user is sign up for the first time we have to check the user is verified or not, and default user should be false, so verified should be false. So whenever user login for the first time, so sign up for the first time, then user should be unverified, right? So we have to verify the user email, right? Then we will log in the user, right? And we have to send the verification token, right? So verification code, so I have already right. So let me show you. So this is the verification code. So just we are using type string, so no need to write like this. So similarly we can write simply like this, verification code. So we will create a code, right? So while user will sign up, so when we'll create our REST API, that time we will write a function to generate some random code, and that random code will send to the user id. And this is the code that we are going to store in our verification. And verification the expiry, so we have to expire the code, right? At the type should be date, right? So at this date the verification code should be expire. And reset password token, so suppose you forgot password, so that time also we have to send the token, right? So that time we will send the token, and that reset password token should also expire. So that time we are going to use the date at what time the forgot password token should be the expired. So when we are doing both the like functionality we are using, like verifying the email or forgot password, that time we need token, and we have to expire the token also, right? So that we are going to store in the MongoDB database like this, right? And after that we can use the timestamp. So we can, why we are using timestamp true here, like this, out of this object. So whenever like user has like created their account, right? So it has, right, this created at and updated at, right? So at this date user has created this account, right? And at this time our user has updated, right? Some similarly whenever this user has created this account at what time and updated time it has been shown, right? So you can create this for the user information, right? And here it is showing v6, so this is created by the MongoDB. So at that this much time the user has updated their like account details, right? So that is version. And after the timestamp we have to, like before saving to the MongoDB database, we have to hash the password, right? So how we are going to hash the password, because whenever user is sign it we have to hash the password. You can see that this is not the normal password, see, this is some hash password. So how we are going to hash the password? So we are going to use user schema that we have created, right? So this is the schema that we have created. And dot pre means we have to before saving to the database, so save, so we are going to use save. This is the event that we are going to use. Before saving to the database we have to create a async function, right? And where is your async function? And in this async function, let me, so here before saving to the database we have to has the password. So we are going to create a async function, and in this async we are going to next middleware. So after hashing we have to go for the saving for the like database is the user information, so we can use the next middleware for the next process, right? So we will check if like password, if the password, if this dot is modified or not. If it is not modified, then return to the next. So when you sign in for the first time, or like we are updating our password, so that time it will check if the user has modified the password or creating the new password, right? So that time we have to check. So if it not modified, then we can simply save, go for the next middleware, right, next route, and that time it will save to the right database automatically. So when user has already the hash password, no need to like hash the again, right? So for that we are checking this, right? And suppose user has not hash password, creating user password for the first time, right, signing up for the first time. So we have to we have to use bcrypt to hash the password, and we are going to change salt. So 10 times we are going to encrypt, right? So it should not be easy to decrypt, right? And it will protect your password. And then after we have to save this password. So this is the password, this is the password we are using, right, when we create our user schema. So this password will be saved as a await bcrypt dot hash with this password that the user has entered, right? And the salt, with this salt it will hash with the combine of both the things. So hash should be like the salt should be like the combination of number, right, string, like alphabets and some special character. So it will combine with your password, and it will create a new hash password, right, if your password is like readable, right? And after that it will go for the next middleware. So uh, this next middleware, right, it does like it will go for the next route, and it will set the database, right? And we can perform further tasks. And suppose user is login, right? So when the user is login, he will enter the email and password, but user will write the simple password like uh, uh, Becodewala 123. So that is the password that user is entered, but this is the password that is saved to the database. So how it is going to match? So right, when the user will log in, so to match the password also we have another method. So user schema dot method dot match password equal to, we have to create a async function, and this is the method to match the password. And in this pa password matching, we have to return await bcrypt.convey. So we use bcrypt to hash the password, we can use the bcrypt to compare the password, right? So it will compare the like the user enter password, right, the user had what are the user has entered, and the mongodb database set password. So this is the mongodb database password and the user password, so it will compare. So this function bcrypt.compare only can compare this password, right, that the user has entered and the whatever that saved in the database. So this function what it does, it will hash with your like it will use your jwt secret token, right, at that time, right, when the user has created token, like that. Similarly it will use like bcrypt dot compare to compare the password that user. So this is function provided by like bcrypt to hash and compare the password, right? So these are the two important things that we have to do. So here we are using pre because we are before saving to the database password we have to check all these things. And here we are not using pre because we are just using for the like login, right? The user has already created the account, that time you can use. And after that, after matching password, we have to create our model, right? So const user model, right, with the schema we have to create the user model, and this user model we are going to use as a reference in our following. This user model has a user object id and all the details, right? And after that we have to export the user model, right? So this is the user model we have the created. Now we can create the post model, but before that we can configure our passport.js that is pending, right? Now we can create our Google strategy to log in with our Google account. So we have to create the passport, we have to use passport.use, and we have to create a new strategy, right? So new Google strategy, and in this new Google strategy, we have to get the object, right? And here we have to write the client ID, right? Client secret callback URL, right? So let me write this. So I've written the Google client ID that we need to this to authenticate with the Google, right? Then I have explained you how to get this all the secret and redirect URL. So whenever user login, right, it will at what URL it will redirect. So we will create this URL in our auth mid controller, right? So no worries. So that time it will we are going to create, and when the user will login, it will redirect to this URL. And after that what we have to do, we have to what data you want to access. So when suppose you will log into the Google, what data you want to access. So I want to access the user profile and email. So we can write a scope, and in this we can define this as array profile and email. Profile means the user picture and the email related to the Google account. These are the two things I want to get from the Google. And after that what we have to do, so after like configuration with this all the secret key, we have to create a async function like Google strategy callback, right? This function that run after the Google authenticated the user and return their profile data. So after the Google authenticate the user and return the data, so this function we have to create. So how we are going to create our like Google strategy callback. So we have to use the async, and in the async we have to sx token. So whenever you will sign up with the Google, right, so it will show a token on your URL. So when you sign up, let me show you paste. So this is the URL where I have deployed my project, right? So I'll sign up with login with the Google, and see I click on the login with the Google. And here when I try to login with the Google, right, see in this URI, see with the client ID, this is the client ID, but client secret will not be shown, right? And here you can see that the like domain, this is the domain name. And after that when you sign up here, see this is the token, see this is the token I am talking about, this is the token, see. So it will show a span of second, right? This that token, right? So that token, and this is the refresh token, right? So and we are not going to access it, we don't need, we need profile, right? So profile and email and all, so this token should be there while login with the Google. So what we are going to need, so that we are going to get in this function. So I am going to use try catch, and if any error come, the done is a like the callback function, and it will return the error, right, if any errors comes. And here you have to get the let user check if user is already exist, right? So we have to check. So here suppose here I want to sign up with my Google account. So see it will check my user is already exist, so it automatically log in, it doesn't ask for my email, right? So see, so we have to check the user is already, we have to check in our database also, right? So if user is login or not, so it is already exist in our database or not. So await user dot find one, and we have to get the Google ID, right? Google profile ID. So otherwise we no need ID here, because in the database we are going to get the like find the user using email. So find one using email, not the Google ID. And email profile email and value 0. So let me check if it is present. So this is the id, but we are looking for another Becodewala. So this is the email password, and find one with this email. So when you will sign up, right? So in the Google, like we are accessing the profile, when you sign up, it will get the email, right? So email dot value, so it will get the email value, and with the email we have to find the user in our user MongoDB database. So it will check from our Google, and here if user, then we have to return null, and the user, we have to return simply the user, right? And if user does not see, here user exists, right? Let me log out. So when user exists, it automatically log out. If it not exist, it will ask for the like uh, create the new account. So it will create a new account in our MongoDB database. So how we are going to create our new account? So to create new account, user equal to await user dot create in the user model, right? Dot create, and what are the object we are going to pass. So and here we are while creating our user profile in our database, we have to get the profile display name from the Google, and the email, right? Email value, and password we are creating randomly with the some JavaScript function math.random, and we are converting to the string that. And here we are using slice, right? Generate random password, right? Because we are using user model, there the password should be required. So while sign up with Google, we have to make that like the field should not be empty, and here we are accessing the author from the Google. So profile dot photos, so this how we access the values from the Google, right? So these things you will get on the internet, this all this configuration. So after that, user has created, we have to return the user, right? And if any error come, so it will show the error, right? So you can remove the null, you can just show the error, it's depend on you. So no worries. And here you have to return, right? So make sure to return done. So I, yeah, it's fixed. So here we are returning the profile with the non callback URL or a callback function. And here we are using the email, right? The email from the Google, and we are finding in our database. If user create the, it will return the user, and it will redirect to the dashboard. If it not user exists, it will get the details from the Google, and it will create in our database, right? And after that it will return the user, right? And if any error come, it will show the error cell. So then, so this method tell password how to store data, user data in the session. So passport dot serialize user, and here we are passing like the user and done. And after that we have to return the user id, right? So this is the user id, right? How we are going to like tell the passport to how to store user data in the session, right? So this how we are going to store user data in the session, passport serialize user, and with the this user data. And if it is done, we have to return the user id, right? And after that, after login only, the user id is saved in the session, right? So when we log in with our Google, right here, right? After login only, our user id saved in the session. And we have to deserialize when the request comes, it should use the id from the session to load the full user from the database, right? So we have to deserialize the user passport dot deserialize the user, and here we have to get the like id, right? So this is the id, user id. So we are passing the id as a parameter here, and we have to use the try catch, and if any errors come, done error, done error, and we have to return the error in the callback. And with the user id we have to find the id in our database, and we have to return the user. So this how we deserialize the user. So when we request comes in, it uses the user id from the session and load the full user from the database, right? That time we have to use the deserialize to get all the data from the user, and after that we have to export the passport. So this how we have configured passport, and we have created the user model already. Now we can create our passport model, right? So let's finish the passport model. Sorry, we have to create now the post.js model. So while we are creating our post, right, so we need many things like title, right, content, category, tags, cover image. So all these things we need, right, to create our post. So let us create first the post model. So to create the post model, and in the post one thing, so in the post we have a one more thing. So when you go and scroll down, we have a comment. So we have to store this comment model in our this here in the post also. So we can create the separate like comment model, but we are building a small application, so we can add our comment model, right, comment schema in this only. So we not need to create the separate model for our comment for the post, right? So we are going to create the schema in this only for the comment also, and we can write the modular code, right? So we have to import the first mongoose, and let's create the like comment schema first. So const comment schema, and we have to create the new schema, right? So comment new mongoose dot schema, and who is going to comment, right? So any user is going to comment, right? So here this user is commenting, right? So this user have a id, he has to sign up in my database, right? So he should be have a id, right? So we have to get the id, right? mongoose.schema.types.user id. Then we have to reference the object model, and then user model. So we have to use the user model, right? We have to reference the user model to get this the user information, and required true. So this is the required field, so only the user can comment, right? So logged in user, right? And text, so what we are going to comment, right? So text, so this is the comment, what the comment you want to pass. So here we want to pass as comment type of string and required true. So need to fill the field to like create the comment, right? And what time you want, you can use the timestamp also, but here is the separate provided by the mongoose. So at this time, date, and default date dot now. So at this time the comment has been created. So you can see that this user has created this comment high and on this date, right? And you can delete the comment that we are going to see in the front end, right? This is how we have to create the comment schema, right? And we are going to use in a post, right? So post schema, let's create first. So post schema, and in the post schema we need title, right? So post should have a title and type of string, and required to means it should be required to fill the field for the title and the content, right? So what are the content for the post? So when you go to create, so it will ask for the title and content, right? So we can create the post, and after that we need like image, right? So we can create the image for our post, right? image, and image of type string, right? And by default it should be empty string, right? And here you can use comma, right? And after that we can create author, right? So who is going to create the post, right? So this is the post created by some user, right? These are the post created by another user, this post created by other user, this post created by other user, right? So how we are going to create all these posts? So after that we have to get the all the information who is going to create. So this author, who is the author? So this author, so this author of type, so only logged in user can create the post, right? So logged in user should have a MongoDB ID, right? Unique ID. We are going to use a reference the model, right? And required true. So this is the model that we are going to use, right? It's all the user object ID, right? In the user model. And after that what are the things that we have left? So category. So in category, so category have a type of string, right? This, so this category type of string, which category our post belong to. So category equal to true and type of string. And after that we have tags, right? So we have used the tags. So what are the tags we can pass, right? So tags, and it should be array of an object, right? We can pass the many tags here, and we can define the type string. And after that we have a like of this post. So we have to count the like of this post, right? So let's go and see. So this has a like, so this post has a 3 likes, right? And here is showing the like, right? Who is going to like? So when the user is logged in only can like. So how we are going to count the like, right? So some user, so user has some id, user id. So how to get the user id? From the mongo schema dot types dot object id, and from the reference from the user model. So likes, and it should be a array of an object, so many users can like. And you can define the user id, right? And after that we have to create the comment. So comment, for the comment we have already created the comment schema that we have. Now we are going to use that comment schema for the post. And then bookmark also should have a user, right? So only logged in user can bookmark the post. So we are also going to use get the user id, user information from the user model. And by default, so we have to draft the post, right? So here you can save it as a draft while creating your post. So we can save it as a draft, so that should also be saved to the database but not shown to the user, right? So each draft, and in this draft we can insert type boolean and default false. So initially it should not be false, so user can save it as a draft if depend on the user, right? And that's it for our this model schema. Now we can create the timestamp, at what timestamp this create and updated the post, right? And after that we can create the model after schema, and we can export the post model. So this how we have created, right? The model has finished, right? Now we left with the like controller, middleware, routes, and utils file and all. So we will create our like middleware. So let's create the middleware first. So middleware, so why we are going to create the middleware? So whenever user going to like access anything in our, like suppose I want to um this I want to edit. So how we are going to check that user is authenticated to edit. How it is showing this user should have this icon, edit icon, right? So we have to check at each URL, right? Suppose we are on, see, we are on the post URL. See, now when you click, we are on the edit, right? So who is going to, we are going for the one route to other route, so who is going to check? So we are going to use auth middleware, so it will check the user is authenticated or not. So how we are going to check? And user is authenticated or not to like edit the post, so we have to use token, right? So this token will validate the user, right? So for that we can create the auth middleware. So here we can define the like our auth middleware, and here we can import our JSON JWT token, right, that we have installed in our package.json. This will create a token, right, when the user will log in. Then we have to import the user model, that user model we have created, and after that you have to export this protect middleware. So we have, so it will protect the route who can edit the post. So this post should not be edit, this one. Let me go for the this created by other user, we can't edit, right? It is not showing the edit button, right? So we have protected that thing, right? We have to protect that each route. So we are going to create a function, async function to protect the route. So const protect, and here we have to get the request from the user, what user want to edit, right, post. And here the user response, what are the response we have to send from the backend. And this is the next middleware. So if it is user has authenticated, we can go for the next middleware, like next route, next function should be done, right? So how we are going to use protect middleware in the routes, right? I will show you. And first let's create the token first. So here we are going to create the token, and here we are going to write some function. So we will check, right? So we will check in our headers request. So suppose user has requested something, right? So user has requested something, right, to edit a post. So we have to check the token is present or not. So the token should be present when the user is authenticated. So here user, like when the request user has done the request, then here the request dot headers dot authorization, so there the token should be present. Or with the bearer, after the bearer test, when the user is authorized, so that time with the user token should be present, right? So it will check if any of these the token is present. So we have to get the token. So request dot header dot authorization dot split. So we have to split, like it has been two array, like bearer and the token, right, the two things. So we have to get the token. So we have to split and into array, and we have to take the first one, so that where the token is present. Then we have to decode the token. So when we will create, user will log in, right? So we have to sign with the JWT secret, right, with the user id, right, when we create the token. So we have to create, here we are verifying. But when we will create our like auth controller, right, that time we have to create our token. And here we have to verify the token. So with the verify with the token that user has present while the user has signed in, right, that time the token has present. So we have to decode the token to get the user information. So when we will sign in, we will use the user id and JWT secret to create the token. And while decoding the token, we have to use the token and the JW secret, so that we can get the user id, right? So here we are using token and JWT secret to verify the token. And if we decode the token, right, find dot id decode id, we get the id. And we need password. If you don't need sorry, we did we do not need password, so we have to select here the hyphen password, so it will not select the password. Otherwise after that it will select all the other information, but it will not select the password, right? And after getting this id, right, so with this id we are going to search in our user model, right, and it will from the your mongodb database. Here it will get all information, but it will not take the password. So we have remove like excluded the password, and after get the user information we can go for the next route. So after getting the user information, so suppose this is the post created by me, so after verifying it will redirect me to the edit the post, right? So for this, and if any error come you can show in the console error not authorized token failed, right? So this how we have to create the middleware, right? And we have other thing like upload middleware, like when the user has like upload the like user profile, right, while sign up. So this is the profile, right? So here user is sign up, right? So user is uploading the image, and while creating the post user can drag and drop and upload the image from the your computer. And to to create that middleware we can create like upload upload.js. So this is the middleware we are going to create while uploading the image, right? So let's see this. So first of all we have to import the multer, so to handle multi-part data, right? So here we have to import the path. So path, this path come from the node.js, right? So that we are going to use. And this, after that we have to set up Malta to memory storage. We are not going to save images to local host. So because when we push your code for production, so that time the image will not be accessed, right? And it should give error, right? It will give error like uploading the image. So do not use like disk storage, do not use disk storage, use the memory storage. And here we can get the storage multi.disk storage, this function, but this will upload our images in the local here, but we are going to use memory storage, right? So it will store on our mongodb, sorry, cloudinary, and there we can get the images whatever the user has uploaded, right? And after that we can create a function to check the allow type. So what type of files we are going to allow, right, on our like on our like database or cloudinary. So that the we are uploading our like images, png, gif. So what type of files we want to upload on our cloudinary, so we have to create a function check file type we have created, and it will get the file like png, what are the like .jpg file, right? And gif also. So it will take the files you have selected and it will return a callback function. So let me select here. So we will upload, see it, let me go to the desktop. So it is not showing the pdf, but pdf is present in my desktop folder, but pdf is not showing. See in the downloads also the pdf is not showing, because automatically like we have configured, right, we have to take the images, it should be .jpg or .png or gif. So that we have to take. So let me plug the charger. So here we are checking what type of files we are allowed, jpg or png or zip. So this file we want to upload on our cloudinary. right? And we have to what we have to file type dot test. So here we have to test the file, like use the regex to validate the extension mme types, right? So here with the name, so this name should be .jpg, .png when we are uploading our the image, right? So it will check for that and it will convert the to the lower case, right? And after that, uh, like we are going to get the name, original name, and the file extension. After getting the original name and file extension, like here we are, suppose this is the file image, that 999, this is the image original name, and types should be, can be like jpg, png, right? So that both the things we have to take. If you got, then it will return it true with the callback function, right? And this here we are returning the callback error, right? Here only image files and gif are allowed, right? So we are allowing this type of file only, right? So this how we have configured. And we have to initialize the multi, right, to upload to the like cloudinary, right? And we have to initialize that, we have to create const upload, but here we have created just function, right? So we have to upload also, right? Upload, and through on the memory storage we are going to. So how to initialize the multer. So here we are going to initialize the upload middleware, right? So using multer, so here we are going to initialize. So to initialize we have to get the storage, so we are going to use memory storage. So here we are configuring with the storage equal to memory storage and storage equal to multi dot memory storage, right? And then limits, so we can define the 5 MB, we can upload the image up to 5 MB or 2 MB, and so that it should not upload more than that. So let me check if it is working or not. Profile, let me see, image size should be less than 5 MB, so we have to configure here. So and after that we have to file filter, right? So file filter apply the custom check file function to validate the upload. So here we have created the check file type, right? So here that function we are going to use, right? So what type of file are allowed, right? So here we can allow, and here we can create the like try catch. So we can handle the errors also, right? So here we can define the error, and if any error come, so cv error callback, so we have to return the error, and here it will check the file type, and it will initialize our upload middleware, right, with the multi. And after that we have to export the upload middleware so that we can use while creating our profile image and the post. So this how we have created the configuration for the cloudinary, mongodb, node mailer, passport, and the auth middleware, upload middleware, model, post, user, right? So all these things we have set up. So the remaining thing we'll see in the next tutorial. So hope you guys like the tutorial, and don't forget to share, subscribe, and we'll get the source code. If you comment down, if you need the source code you can comment down. So thanks for watching, we'll meet in next tutorial with the new part of this project. So in the next part we will build all the remaining controllers and the routes. So thank you.